GEPT Intermediate Advanced Vocabulary List. By David Pai. Abandoned Abbey abbreviation abdomen. Abide abolish aboriginal aborigine abortion. Abound abrupt absent-minded abstraction absurd. Abundance abundant accelerate acceleration accessible. Accessory acclaim accomplished accordance accordingly. Accountable accounting accumulate accumulation accusation. Accustom ace acknowledge acne acoustic. Acquisition acting activate activist acute. Add adaptation addict addicted addiction. Additive adhere adjacent adjoin adjustment. Administer administrative administrator admiral adolescence. Adolescent adore adulthood advancement advent. Adverb adverse advert advertiser advertising. Advisable advisory advocate areal aerospace. Aesthetic aesthetics affectionate affiliate affirm. Afflict aftermath agenda aggravate aggregate. Aggression aging agitate agitation agony. Agricultural AI aid air conditioner airlift. Airtight airway aisle alarming algebra. Alien alienate allegation allege alleged. Allergic allergy alleviate alliance allied. Alligator allocate alloy ally almond. Alter alternate alternatively ambiguity ambiguous. Ambush amend amendment amends amiable. Amicable ammunition amnesty ample amplify. Analogy analytical anchor anecdote angler. Animate animated annoyance anonymous Antarctic. Antenna anthem antibiotic antibody anticipate. Anticipation antique antonym any more apartate. Appall appalling apparatus appendix applicable. Appraisal appreciable apprehension apprentice approximate. Apt, aptitude arbitrary archaeology. Architectural archive Arctic arena armor. Armored arms array, arrogant artery. Articulate artifact artillery ascertain ascribe. Aspiration assault assert assess. Assessment assignment assimilate associated assuming. Assumption assured asthma astray astronomer. Astronomy asylum athletics ATM atrocity. Attached attain attempted attendance attendant. Attic attorney attribute, auction audit. Auditorium authentic authoritative authorize auto. Autograph automation autonomous autonomy avail. Avert aviary aviation awesome. A while axis bachelor backbone. Backing backpack badge baffle bail. Balanced ballot bandit banking bankruptcy. Banner banquet barbarian barbershop barefoot. Barge barometer barrack baron barricade. Bash basically basic space bastard. Batch battalion batter battlefield bazaar. Bearing beaten beating beautify beckon. Beep beforehand behalf belongings beloved. Bent besiege betray beverage beware. Bewilder bias bibliography bilateral binding. Binoculars biochemistry biological birdie bitch. Bizarre bulksmith blade bland blare. Blast blaze bleach bleak blizzard. Block blockade blonde blot blues. Blunder blunt blue bob bodily. Bodyguard bog boiling bolster bolt. Bombard bomber bondage bonus booking. Boom boost booth boredom burrow. Borrowing bosom botanical botany boulevard. Bound boundary bowel bowler. Boxer boxing boyhood brace bracket. Braid brand new brassiere breech breadth. Breakdown break in breakthrough break up breeder. Brew briefing briefly brigade, brink. Brisk brittle broadcaster broadcasting broaden. Broadly brochure broil broker bronze. Broach brood broth brotherhood brow. Bruise brute buck buckle buffer. Build up bulge bulk bulky bully. Bunker bureaucracy bureaucrat bureaucratic burial. Burning bust bypass bite. Cactus caffeine calcium calculated calf. Calligraphy calorie campaigner cannon capability. Capsule captive captivity carbohydrate cardboard. Cardinal carefree caress caretaker caring. Carnation carnival carol carp carrier. Cartel carton cashier casino cast. Catastrophe category cater catering, cathedral. Caution cautious cavalry cavity ceasefire. Celebrated celebrity celery cellar cello. Cell phone Celsius cemetery census centered. Ceramic certainty certified chairperson challenged. Challenger challenging champagne chant chaos. Chapel chapped characterized charcoal chariot. Charitable charter, chartered chatter checkbook. Check in check up chef chestnut. Chili chimpanzee chirp chisel choir. Cholesterol cord, chronic chuckle. Chunk, circuit circumference site civic. Clam, clamp, clan clarity clasp. Clause, cleanse clean up clearance clearing. Clench clinch, clinch cling clinical. Clockwise clone closed closure clover. Cluster clutch coalition coastal coastline. Cocaine cockpit cocoa cocoon coffin. Coherent coil coincide cola collaboration. Collected, collective collector collide collision. Colloquial kernel colonial columnist combat. Come back come down comet comma commemorate. Commence, commend commentary commentator commissioner. Commodity commonplace commonwealth communal communicative. Communism commute commuter compact companionship. Comparable compartment compass compassion compassionate. Compatible compel compelling compensate compensation. Competence, competent competing compile complement. Complexion, complexity complication comply component. Composite, comprehend comprehensive compress comprise. Compromise, compulsory computerize computing comrade. Concede conceive concentrated. Conception, concerned concession concise condemn. Condemnation, condense condom confederation confer. Confession confidential configuration confined conform. Confusing congressional congressman connected conquest. Conscientious consciousness consecutive consensus consent. Conservation conserve considering consolation console. Consolidate, consortium conspicuous conspiracy constable. Constituency, constituent constitutional constrain constraint. Consultation, consuming consumption contagious contaminant. Contaminate contemplate contempt contend contender. Contention, contentment contestant contingent continuity. Contractor contradict contradiction contradictory contributor. Contrive controller controversial controversy convene. Converge conversely conversion convert convertible. Convict, of, conviction convinced convincing. Convoy cooperation coordinate copyright. Choral cordial cordially cork. Corp, corporate corpse correction. Correlate correspondence correspondent, corresponding corrode. Corrupt, corruption cosmetic, cosmic, cosmopolitan. Costing counselor counsel, counseling counselor. Countable, counterclockwise counterpart countless coup. Coupon courier, courtyard coverage covering. Covet cowardly cozy crackdown cracker. Cramp, crap crater, creek creativity. Creator credibility credible creditor creek. Crib, criterion crocodile crook, crooked. Cross-country crossing crouch crucial crude. Cruise cruiser, crumb, crumble crunch. Crust, cubic cuisine culminate. Cult, cumulative curfew currency. Curriculum curry, custody, customary cutting. Cylinder, cynical daffodil, dame. Damned dandruff daring dart, daybreak. Day-to-day, dazzle, deadly deafen dealer. Dealing, debris, debut decent, decimal. Decisive, decorative decree, dedicate, dedicated. Dedication, deduce deduct deduction, deem. Deepen default, defect, defendant, defender. Defensible defiance, defiant deficiency deficient. Definitely definitive defy degenerate, degrade. Delegation, deliberate delinquent demise, demonstrator. Denial, denote denounce, density, dental. Depict deplete deploy deployment deport. Deprive derive descend, descendant descent. Descriptive designate, desirable despise destined. Destiny detach, detached, detain detection. Detention, deter deteriorate deterioration devalue. Devastate devastation develop developer deviate. Devour do diabetes diagnose diagnosis. Diagram diameter diaper, dictator dictatorship. Diesel differentiate diffuse dilemma diligence. dilute dimension, diminish, diplomacy, diplomatic. Directive directly directory, disability disable. Disagreement, disastrous disbelief discern discharge. Disciple disciplinary disclose disclosure discomfort. Discredit, discrete discrepancy discrete discretion. Discriminate discrimination, disgrace, disgraceful disintegrate. Dismantle dismay, dismissal, dispatch, dispensable. Dispense, disperse, displace displease disposable. Disposal, dispose disposition, disregard disrupt. Dissent dissident dissipate, dissuade distill. Distinctive distort distract, distraction, distress. Distributed distributor disturbed disturbing diverse. Diversify diversion, diversity divert, dividend. Divorced, doctrine, documentary dodge domain. Dome, donation donor doom, doomed. Doorstep doorway dosage doubtless dough. Download drainage drape, drastic, draft. Drawback, dreary dressed dressing dried dry. Driveway drizzle dual, dub, dubious. Duplicate DVD dwarfed well, dwelling. Dying dynamite, earphones ebb. Eccentric eclipse ecological ecology ecstasy. Ecstatic edged educated ill ego. Eject elapse electoral electorate electron. Elevate elevated, elevation illicit, eligibility. Eligible elite eloquence eloquent embargo. Embark, embarrassment embed embody, embrace. Embryo, emergence emigrant emigrate emigration. Emission, emit, emphatic empirical enact. Enclosure, encouraging encyclopedia endeavor endless. Endorse, endow, endowment energize enforcement. Engaged engagement, enlighten, enrich ensue. Entail enthusiast entity, entrepreneur environmentalist. Envisage, envoy, enzyme epic, epidemic. Episode, epic EQ equate equation. Equator equilibrium, equity, erode erosion. Erotic erroneous erupt, eruption escalate. Escort essence, established establishment esteem. Eternal eternity ethic ethical, ethics. Ethnic evacuate evacuation evaluation evaporate. Evaporation evergreen evidently evoke exaggerated. Exaggeration examinee exceed exceedingly excel. Excerpt excess, excessive exclude exclusion. Exclusive exclusively execute, execution, exemplify. Exempt exert, exile existing exotic. Expedition, expel expend expenditure, experienced. Expertise expiration, expire, explicit, exploration. Exposition expressive expulsion exquisite, exterior. External externals extinguish extract, extracurricular. Extradite extravagant, extremist eyelash eyelid. Fabric, fabricate fabulous, facet. Facilitate, faction, faculty fad Fahrenheit. Faithfully, falter, familiarity famine farming. Fascination fascism fascist fatigue fatty. Fearful feasible feat, federation feeble. Feeder fellowship feminine feminism feminist. Fertility fiancé fiber, fiddle, fidelity. Filter fin finding, finite firecracker. Firefighter fireproof first class fiscal fishery. Fitting, fixed fixture flake flank. Flap, flare flaw fleet flick. Flicker fling, flop, flounder flourish. Fluctuate fluency fluid, flunk, flutter. Faux foil, folklore follow-up footage. Footstep, forbidden foremost forge, format. Formidable formulate, forsake forthcoming fortify. Fortnight 1 forum fossil, foster, foul. Foul fraction fracture fragile fragment. Fragrant frail framework France franchise. Frankly frantic fraud, freak fret. Friction, fringe, frontier front page fruitful. Frustration full-time fume, fumes fundamentalism. Fundamentalist funding furnace fury fuse. Fusion fuss galaxy gallop. Garment gaseous gasp gathering gauge. Gel gender generalize generate generator. Genetic genetics genre geographical geology. Geometry ghetto guilt given glacier. Glamour glamorous gland glare gals swear. Gleam glee glisten glitter gloom. Gloomy GMO na go ahead goalkeeper. Gobble going good looking goodwill gore. Gorge gorgeous gorilla gospel governmental. Grammatical graph graphic grasshopper grassy. Great graze grease greed grill. Grim grip grown grosser groove. Grope gross grove growl grumble. Guaranteed gorilla guideline guild guitarist. Gulp gunman gust gut gymnasium. Gypsy habitat hack hacker. Hail hairstyle halftime have, hamper. Handbook handicraft Harris harassment hardline. Hardliner hardwood hardy harmless harmonica. Harness haste hasten hateful haul. Haunt, haven hazardous heading. Head on healthful hearing hardy heated. Heating heave heavyweight hedge heed. Hiden air helpless hemisphere henceforth. Herald herb hereafter heritage hermit. Heroic heroine heterosexual hierarchy hi-fi. Highlight hillside hinder hinge hiss. Horse hockey holder holding homeless. Hometown homogeneous homosexual honk, honorary. Hood hoof hopeless horizontal hormone. Horsepower hospitable hospitality hospitalize hostile. Hostility hound hover howl howl. Humanitarian humiliate humiliation hunch huddle. Hurl hybrid hygiene hymn hypocrisy. Hypocrite hypothesis hysterical ideally. Ideological ideology idiot ignite illuminate. Illusion immense immerse immigrate imminent. Immune impair impart imperative impetus. Implict imposing imprison imprisonment impulse. Impulsive inability inaccessible inappropriate inaugurate. Incense, incentive incidence incidental, incidentally. Incline, inclined inclusive incorporate incredible. Incumbent incur indefinite index, indicative. Indicator indictment indifference indifferent, indignant. Indignation indirect indispensable induce, indulge. Industrialized inefficient inertia, inevitably infantry. Infectious infinite inflict infrastructure ingenious. Ingenuity, inhabit inherent inhabit. Inherent. Inhibit inhibited inhibition initially initiate. Initiative injustice inland inlet, inmate. Inning innovation innovative innumerable insane. Insecticide insecure insider, inside insistence. Insistent, inspection instability installation, installment. Instantaneous instinctive, institutional instrumental insufficient. Insulate insure insurer intact intake. Integral, integrate integration integrity, intellect. Intelligible intensity, intent, interaction. Intercourse, interim interior intermittent interruption. Intersection intervene, intervention, intimacy, intimidate. Intonation intricate intrigue, intrigue intriguing. Intrinsic, intrusion intuition, invalid invaluable. Invariable inventory, invert, investigation investigator. Inviting involvement inward IQ ironic. Ironically irony irrelevant irresistible irrespective. Irrigation, irritable irritate isle isolated. Ivy jack, jade, janitor. Jasmine jaywalk jeer jeopardize jerk. Jersey jingle jobless jockey, journalism. Joyous judicial, judiciary, jug, jumper. Junction justification justified justify, juvenile. Kill killing kin, kindle. Know-how knuckle, lad lame. Lament, landing large-scale lash, lasting. Latent lava lavish, lawmaker lawsuit. Layman layout LCD lead-in, lease. Lee, left-hand left-wing legacy legislation. Legislative legislator legislature legitimate, lengthy. Lesbian lesson, lesser, less lethal. Lever, levy, liability, liable, libel. Liberalize liberation lieutenant lifeboat lifeguard. Lifelong lifestyle lighting lightweight, likelihood. Likewise lime limited, limousine, limp. Linear liner line up linger, linguist. Lining literacy literal, literally, literate. live in, livestock living, lizard llama. Loaded locality, located locked locomotive. Locomotive locust lodge, lofty, logo. Lollipop lonesome longevity, longitude. Long-standing long-time loom loot, lost. Lottery lotus lounge, loving lubricate. Lucrative lumber luminous lump, lunatic. Lunchtime lure, lush lynch lyric. Made-up mafia magistrate magnify. Magnitude, maiden, mainstream maintenance, majestic. Majesty making, malaria mammal mandate. Maneuver, manifest, manifesto manipulate, manuscript. Maple marmare, marginal, marine. Marked, marketing, marshal, marshal. Marvel masculine mash massacre massage. Massive mastery, materialism mattress mayonnaise. Measurement, mechanics mechanism media mediate. Medication medieval meditate meditation melancholy. Mellow menace mentality, merchandise, mercury. Merely merge mermaid metallic metaphor. Metric metropolitan middle-aged midst migrant. Migrate migration mileage, milestone, militant. Militia miller millimeter millionaire mimic. Mingle, miniature, minimal minimize, mining. Ministerial, mint miraculous miscarriage, mischievous. Miser missionary mistaken mixed, moan. Mobilize, mock, mode, modernization modernize. Modify mold, molecule momentum, monarch. Monarchy monetary, monopoly, monotonous monotony. Monstrous moody more morale, morality. Mortal, mortar mosque moss, motherhood. Motive, motorist motorway motto mound. Mount, mounted mourn, mournful, mouthpiece. Moving, mower mule, multinational multitude. Mumble municipal muscular muse mustache. Mustard mute mutter, mutton myth. Mythology nader, nag, naive. Nanny narrate, narrative narrator nationalism. Nationalist nationwide naval, navigate, navigation. Nearsighted necessitate necktie negligible negotiator. Neighboring neon neutral newly, newlywed. Newscast newsreel nibble nick, nickel. Nightclub nightingale nil nitrogen nominal. Nominate, nomination, nominee nonviolent norm. Nostril notable notably, notation, noted. Noticeable notify notion notorious notwithstanding. Novelty novice nucleus nude, nuisance. Numerical nurture, nutritious or. Oasis oath, oatmeal obedience obituary. Obligate obligation, obligatory oblige oblong. Obscene obscure, observer, obsess obsession. Obstinate occurrence, octopus odds, odor. Offering, offshore, offset, offspring, old-fashioned. Olive one-time ongoing, opaque, openly. Operational operative, opposed oppress, oppression. Optical optimism optimistic optimum. Optional orchard ordeal or organism. Organized orient oriental orientation. Oriented originality originally originate ornament. Orthodox ostrich oust, outbreak, outdo. Outfit outgoing, outing outlaw, outlet. Outlook, outnumber outrage, outrageous outright. Outset outsider outskirts overdue overeat. Overhear overlap oversee oversleep overt. Overturn overwhelm, overwork oxide oyster. Ozone, packaging packed packing. Packed paddle, pagan paid, pale. Pamphlet pane paperback PAR, paradox. Paralysis paralyze parameter, parish parliamentary. Parlor, parsley partially participation, particle. Partition partly part-time passing, passionate. Password pastime pastry pasture, patch. Patent, pathetic, patriot patrol patron. Patronage pavement PDA peacekeeping, peacock. Peck, pedal peddler pedestrian, peak. Peg, pending pendulum, penetrate, peninsula. Penis pension pensioner perceive perception. Perch, perennial perfect peril periodic. Perish, permeate permissible perpetual, perplex. Perseverance persevere persistence persistent personnel. Perspective, pertain, pertinent, pessimism pesticide. Petition petroleum petty, pharmaceutical pharmacist. Pharmacology pharmacy phase, physiological physiology. Pickle pickpocket pickup, picturesque, peer. Pierce, piercing, piety, pillar, pimple. Pinch, pious, pipeline, pistol. Pitcher, plague, plantation plaster, plateau. Plausible playful playwright plead. Pledge, plight, plow, pluck, plunge. Pneumonia poach, pocketbook, poetic pointed. Poised poke, polar, pollutant, polytechnic. Ponder pope, popularity populate. Porcelain. Porch, pour, portfolio postulate, posture. Post-war potent potter practicable practitioner. Prairie, preach precaution, precede, precedent. Preceding precipitate precisely, precision preclude. Predecessor predictable predominant predominantly preface. Preference prehistoric prejudice, preliminary, premature. Premier, premier premise premium, preposition. Prescribe, prescription, present preservation preside. Presidency president-elect prestige prestigious presumably. Presume, pretext prevail prevailing prevalent. Preventive previously, prey, priceless prick. Primarily, principal, prior priority privatize. Privileged probability probe proceeding. Procession, processor, proclaim, produce, productivity. Proficiency proficient, profile, profound, prohibition. Project, projection, proliferate prolonged. Promptly prone pronoun propaganda propagate. Propel propeller profit proportional, proposition. Prose, prosecute, prosecution prosecutor prospect. Prospective prostitute prostitution prototype, provided. Provincial, provision, provisional provocative, provoke. Prowl proximity prune, psychiatric psychiatrist. Psychiatry psychic, publicize puff, pulse. Punishment punk, purely, purify purity. Put down, put pyramid, quack. Quake qualifier qualitative quantify quantitative. Quantum quarrelsome quarter final quarterly. Quartet quartz queer, quench query. Quest, questionnaire quiver quota quotation. Racing, racism racist rack. Radiant radiate, radiator, radioactive radish. Radius, raft rag, ragged, raid. Rail, rally, ranch random ranking. Ransom rap, rape rascal, rash. Ratify rating ratio rational rattle. Ravage, rave, reactor realism realization. Realm, reap, reassure rebellion rebellious. Recipient, reciprocal reckless, reckon, reclaim. Recommendation reconcile reconciliation, reconstruction recording. Recreational recruit rectangular rectify recur. Redundancy, redundant, reef, real, referee. Referendum refine, reflective, reformer refrain. Refreshing refreshment refuge, refund, refute. Regain, reggae regime, regiment, regulator. Rehabilitate, rain, reinforce, rejection. Rejoice relativity, relaxed relay, relegate. Relentless, relevant, reliability reliance, relic. Relieved relish, remainder remaining remains. Reminiscent remnant removal, renaissance, render. Renewal, renowned rental, reopen reorganize. Repatriate repay, repayment, repeat ed repel. Repertoire replacement replay reportedly repress. Repression reproach reproduce reproduction, reptile. Resemblance resentment reserved, reservoir. Reside, residential resigned, resolute resonance. Resonant resort, respectable respected respectful. Respective respectively restrain, restrained, restraint. Restricted restructure resultant, resume, resume. Retail retailer, retaliate retention, retired. Retirement retort, retrieval, retrieve retrospect. Retrospection retrospective reunion revealing revelation. Revenue, reverse revival, revive revolt. Revolve rhetoric, rhetorical, rhinoceros rhythmic. Rib, ridge, ridicule rig, right hand. Right wing rigid, rigor, rigorous rim. Riot, riotous, rib, ripple, risky. Right, ritual, rivalry, roach, Rome. Robin robust, rocky, roller, rotary. Rotate rotation, rouge roughly rouse. Row, royalty, ruby, rugby rugged. Ruling, rumble runner up run up, rupture. Rustle ruthless sacred saddle. Safari safeguard saint, salmon salon. Saloon salutation salute, salvage, salvation. Sanctuary sandal, sandy, sane sanitation. Satisfied satisfying saturate, Saudi, savage. Scandal, scar, scarecrow scattered scenario. Scenic sense scope, scorn scramble. Scrap, scrape, screwdriver scrypat, scroll. Scrutiny sculptor sculpture seam, seasonable. Seasonal season seasoning, secondly secrecy. Secretary General seduce seduction seductive seeming. Seemingly segment, segregate, segregated segregation. Selective self-esteem, semiconductor semifinal seminar. Senate senator sensation sensational, sensitivity. Sentiment sentimental separated separately separatism. Separatist sequence, serene serenity, sergeant. Serial seriously, sermon, server, servicemen. Serving, setback, setting, settled, sewer. Sexuality shabby, shaft, shaped, shareholder. Shatter, shear, shed sheer sheriff. Sherry shield shilling shining, shipment. Shipping shiver, shocking shooting, shoplift. Short-term shove, shred, shrewd, shriek. Shrine shrub shudder shuffle, shun. Shudder, side effect sideways, siege, signify. Silicon silkworm simmer simplicity, simulate. Simulation simultaneous sincerity sinister, sit down. Sit in situated. Skeleton, skeptical, skilled. Skipper skirt skull slack, slam. Slap, slash slate slaughter, slay. Sled slay slick, slit, sloppy. Slot, slum slump sly smack. Smallpox smash smother smuggle snare. Snarl snatch sneer sniff snore. Snorkel snort soak soar sober. So-called socialism socialist socialize sociology. Sodium soften soul solely solemn. Solicitor solidarity solitary solitude solo. Soluble someday soothe sophisticated sophomore. Sorrowful soundtrack sovereign sovereignty spacious. Span spatial specialist specialize specially. Specialty specifically specification specify specimen. Spectacle spectacular spectrum speculate speculation. Sperm sphere spike spine spiral. Spire splendor sponge sponsorship spontaneous. Sporting spotlight spouse sprain sprawl. Spring sprint spur squad squash. Squat stability stabilize stack stagger. Staggering stain stainless stale stock. Stall stammer stance standpoint stand up. Stanza staple stapler starch stark. Starter startle startling statesman static. Stationary statistic statistical statistician statistics. Stature statutory steamer steep stepchild. Stereotype sterling stern steward. Stick still stimulating stimulation stimulus. Stink stoop storage stout straighten. Straightforward strain strain straight strangle. Strap strategic stray streak stride. striker striking stripe stroll structural, stuck stumble stump stun stunning, stunt sturdy stutter stylish stylistic, subjective submerge submersion submit, subordinate subscribe subscription subsequent subsidiary, subsidize subsidy substantial substantially substitution, subtle subtlety suburban succession successive, successor suffocate sweet sulfur, summon sunshine superficial superintendent superiority, superpower supersonic superstition superstitious supervise, supervision supplement supplementary supplier supportive, suppress surge surgical surpass surplus, surveillance susceptible suspense sustain swallow, swamp swap swarm away swollen, syllabus symbolic symbolism symmetrical symmetry, symposium syndicate syndrome synonym synonymous, syntactic syntax synthesis synthetic systematical, tablespoon tableware tabloid taboo, tackle taco tact tactic tactical, tactics tailor-made takeaway takeover tally, tan tangle tango tanker tar, tardy tariff tart tasteful tasteless, tattoo taunt, tavern taxation tax-free, taxpayer team-made teamwork teaspoon tedious, teens, telecommunications teller temperament tempest, tempo temptation tempted tentative, terminate termination terminology termite terrace, terrain terrestrial terrified terrifying territorial, terrorism terrorist tertiary testament testify, testimony textile textual texture theatrical, theoretical therapist thereafter thereby thermal, thermometer thermos thesaurus thesis thicken, thickness thigh thorn thorny threshold, thrift thrifty thrill thriller thrive, throb throne throng thrust thunderbolt, thunderous tick tile tilt timeless, timely timeout timer timing tinkle, tint toad toady toddle toddler, toil token toll toll booth tollway, tonic ton topical topping topple, torment torrent torture touching touchy, tournament township toxic tract tractor, trade-in trade-off trailer trainee trait, trader traitorous tramp trample tranquil, tranquilize tranquilizer transaction transcend transcendent, transcribe transcript transcription transformation transformer, transient transistor transit transition transmission, transmit transparency, transparent trauma traumatic, traverse treacherous tread treason treasury, trek tremor trench trespass tribal, tribunal tribute trifle trigger trillion, trim trio triple triumphant trivial, trolley trophy tropic trot troubled, trout truant truce truly trusted, tuberculosis tug of war tuition tumor, tuna turbine turbulent turmoil turnover, twig twilight 2/3 typically tyranny, tyrant ulcer ultimate ultimately, ultraviolet umpire unacceptable unanimous unbeaten, uncertain uncertainty unchanged unclear uncomfortable, unconditional uncover underestimate undergo undergraduate, underlie, underlying undermine underneath understandable, underway underwrite undo undoubted undoubtedly, uneasy unemployed unemployment unfair unfit, unfold unidentified unification unify unleash, unload unlock unnecessary unofficial unpack, unpleasant unpopular unprecedented unpredictable unrest, unsuccessful unusually unveil unwanted unwilling, upbringing update upgrade uphold, upload upright uprising up-to-date uranium, urgency urine usher utensil utility, utilize utmost utter utterly, vacancy vaccine vacuum valiant valid, validity valve vanilla vanity variable, variation varied vegetation veil vein, velocity velvet vent ventilate, venue verbal verdict, verge verify, versatile versus vertical veteran veterinarian, veto via viable vibrate vibration, vicar vice president vicinity vicious, victimize victor victorious viewer viewpoint, villa villager villain vine vineyard, vintage vinyl virtual virtually visa, visualize vitality vocal vocals vocation, vocational vogue void volatile volt, voltage vomit voucher vow vulgar, vulnerable wade wag whale, wallpaper walnut wardrobe wear warehouse, warrant warranty warring warrior wartime. Weary watertight what way out weakness. Weary website wed wedge we. Weird weld well being sharg whatsoever. Shield chair whereabouts whereas whereby whilst. Wine whirl whisk whiskey wholesale. Wholesome holy widow wig windshield. Winger winning withdrawal wither withhold. Withstand witty woe woodland. Woodpecker workforce workman workplace worrying. Worsen worship would be wreath wrench. Wrestle wretched ring written. Xerox yacht yarn yearn. Yeast yen yield yoga yoke. Yucky zeal zinc zip. Zipper zoom. GEPT Intermediate Advanced Vocabulary List. By David Pai. Abandoned Abbey abbreviation abdomen. Abide abolish aboriginal aborigine abortion. Abound abrupt absent-minded abstraction absurd. Abundance abundant accelerate acceleration accessible.